Hi, it's Mazina. I hope you've had a good week. And I'm on today to talk to you about setting up your first ever tarot deck. So you've gone ahead and you've done it. You've bought yourself some tarot cards, and maybe you've gone for the traditional Rider-Waite. Maybe you've gone for something a little bit more modern, like the Sexual Magic. Maybe you wanted something colourful and kind of blunt in the Morgan Greer. Maybe something romantic in the Aquarian Tarot, or the ultimate occult's favourite, the Aleister Crowley Thoth. Whichever tarot deck you have used, it's important that you learn to look after them. So this will be a very short video because you can't tell somebody how to connect with their tarot deck. You can give pointers and tips and techniques, but it is a very personal journey, and it's a very personal tool. It will differ from person to person. So this really is just a little bit of guidance, and I do hope that it does help some people on their tarot journey. So firstly, I'm not going to open any of these because we do sell these, but I am going to grab my tarot cards and we're going to play pretend that I've just bought my first ever tarot deck. Okay, so in this make-believe part of the video, I have just bought my first deck of tarot cards. I've unsealed them and I'm about to take them out of the box. And inside there will be a card all about the artist. Just a sort of stereotypical card. And then the booklet. Now, this varies from person to person. You can read the booklet and read your cards based on the booklet, or you can get to know your cards without this. That's personally how I like to do it. I don't use the booklet for much at all. But I was lucky enough to grow up with my mum, who read these very cards, and I just got an understanding of what the meanings were through my mum. And by observing her interpretations, I could understand in a very strange way how her intuition was working. I could understand what she was seeing. I know that not everybody has that guidance in their life. So there's nothing wrong with reading the booklet. It gives you the traditional meanings and, the meanings of the card. If you want to read them reversed, it gives you that option as well. You understand what the different suits mean, what the major and minor arcana's placements are. It is a good piece of kit, to be honest with you. I don't read the booklets often. I'll only read them if I'm reading for myself, because I have to take away my personal wishes, I guess. When you want to read into something, you don't have that option when you read for yourself. It doesn't feel as fluid, as intuitive, because you do have personal hope and expectation there. It's very different to reading for somebody else. So I tend to use the booklet only if I'm picking a few cards for me, just to see if there's anything that maybe I'm not picking up on, and it just gives me a bit of a wider perspective. So that option is always there. Then you have your cards, and your cards, I want to point out, always need a home. Now you can keep them in their box, but we've gone along and we've bought a nice velvet pouch to keep them in. I'm a big believer that you need to respect the tools that you work with and keep them safe and keep them protected. So a velvet pouch will do. You can also use a silk cloth, or you can use the tarot cloth that you would buy, which I would recommend, which, they have lovely designs on them. There's all different kinds of ones that you can get from us. And you can wrap your cards up in this, and it also doubles up as your tarot cloth when you are working as well. But we don't need that at the moment because we've got this cloth down. And of course, for a reading, a candle. Now, we're not going to be doing readings with these, but let's just say, for talking's sake, that you are about to do a test reading, always burn a candle. A candle is protection, it keeps the energy clear, And in between questions and readings, you wave your cards over the top. It clears the cards of the energy. It's very important to keep your cards clear so they're not carrying over energy from previous questions. Now, the first thing I would do is the cards are out of the box. Give them a knock. You don't know who's handled these. You don't know how many people have picked up that very box and what energy they have on them. Give them a tap. I would light the candle and I would wave them over the top as an act of cleansing as well. You can also do this with incense smoke if you want to. Then I shuffle. And how I would do this for me, not for somebody else, but for myself, I would say, can I have 3 cards for my week? When you're starting to read tarot, it's very, very good just to keep it simple. Jumpers can count. Go by your intuition. Do these cards feel like they're for you? They don't feel like they were meant for me, so I'm putting them back. That was meant for me, so I'm going to put that jumping card down. So we treat that as an additional. And that one. So we've got 2 additional cards. And then we're going to pick 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's have a look. So first card, Wheel of Fortune. I personally don't read reversed cards. If you do, keep it as it was. Keep it reversed. Wheel of Fortune. The Tower. This card has been haunting me all year. How apt. And the Ace of Pentacles. Then the additional 2 cards that we had fly out was the Ace of Wands. Wow. And the Ace of Cups. Almost a full house. That is not a bad set. Now you're looking at these cards and you're thinking, what does any of this mean? What does this mean for me? I've just taken my cards out. I just want to see how this works. So this is an easy spread for you to do. Past, present, future. Okay. Pick up the card. If you're working intuitively, ignoring the notebook, look at the artwork. What are the first 3 things that jump out to you? And what do you feel when you look at this card? I don't want you to question it too much, but write it down. Write down what you're feeling and write down what the 3 things were that jumped out to you. So for me, with the Wheel of Fortune being in the past, this would be investment that has happened previously. This would be ideas. This would be taking things forward, having to trust the guidance from the universe and to take a risk. In the present, you have the Tower. Now, as we're treating this as I've never read cards before, of course you're going to feel quite terrified of this card. And with it being in the present, I must admit that is very apt for me right now. This is how life has felt all year. I've had this card come up in every single reading that I have done for myself. So it doesn't surprise me that it's come up now. So the Tower is about destruction. It's about rebirth, and it's about things having to fall apart to be reborn again. What are the first 3 things that you see in this card? Write them down and take note of them. Now, in the future card, the Ace of Pentacles. What are the first 3 things that you see with this card? How does this card make you feel? Typically, aces are fantastic cards. They are newness. They are the beginning of something. Ace of Pentacles in this current lineup says to me that the investment will eventually pay off and that the hard work will pay off. And this feeling is only temporary. It's about finding our place in the world and maybe investing a little bit more in ourselves to find that happiness. Then we had the 2 other aces jump out here. Now this is almost a full house of aces, which is very good. 3 is amazing anyway. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. What are the first 3 things that you see in these cards? Write it down. Now look at everything that you have written and piece it together. What you're doing is figuring out your life story here. What's going to happen in the next week? And whilst I'm not going to go into this too much for me, but this is just a demonstration of an easy way to get to know your cards if you're working with them just based on visuals and intuition. Looking at their placements, going off of what you feel. And it's very important not to question what you feel too much. Please trust it, go with it, because it will sharpen and it will refine as the days, weeks, months, years go on. And you will eventually know these cards like the back of your hand. I really hope that this video has helped, and that if you have just bought your first set of tarot cards, welcome to the club. And if you're looking for a set of tarot cards, we have lots of really good titles in stock. So why not hop over and have a wee look. Now, once you're done with your cards, pack them away, put them in your pouch, wrap them up however you want to, blow your candle out and say thank you. There is a specific method that I use for tarot readings for my clients. I will cover that in a separate video for anyone who's interested, because it's a little bit more elaborate than this, and it would be more for, I guess, intermediate to advanced readers. So if you wanted to have a try at that, you can, but this is for the bare bones. This is for the beginnings. This is just you and your cards getting to know one another. You're saying hello. I'd keep this up for a couple of months. Just keep it up. Get to know them. And in your spare time, sit and just look, go through the deck. Look at the artwork. What's it trying to tell you? Write down the 3 things that you see and work on those 3 things. And I can guarantee there will always be something different that you see in your cards. No matter how long you work with them, you will always find something new. I really hope that this has helped. If you enjoyed it, give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Lots of love.